Colin, what are you doing?
I'm eating these donuts that I found on the train as research for today's show.
Researcher, did you not read the script?
Yes, it's about sugar.
Yes, we're supposed to be cutting down on sugar, not eating more.
Well, I have eaten less than I normally eat.
Oh my gosh, the producer's going to be fuming. Come on, let's go get ready for the show.
Welcome to Health Digest This. Sugar.
Hello and welcome to Health Digest This, the show where we investigate food so you don't have to.
I'm Lucy and this is Colin, and today we're talking all about sugar.
Does that mean I get lots of chocolatey treats?
Nope, it's the exact
Didn't think so.
opposite. There's endless research suggesting how bad sugar can be.
And making the headlines today, the Chief Medical Officer of the UK compared the threat to obesity of that of terrorism.
So we want to find out if going sugar-free is possible and what sticky pitfalls you need to look out for.
It's going to be a long 30 minutes for me, Luce.
Who knows, Colin, with what you, my friend, are going to find out on today's show, it might put you off sugar for good.
Coming up, we'll be investigating hidden sugar, where it is and what it does.
Our scientific reporter Lizzie will be telling us how sugar can affect our health.
And we challenged a local lad to give up sugar for a week. If you want to know how he got on, stay tuned to find out more.
And don't forget to follow us at Health Digest TV and share all your sweet sugary stories, both good and bad. But first, our reporter Adi went to see what the general public knew about sugar.
Hello, I'm here at the University of Salford in Media City, UK, and today we're going to find out what these people know about sugar.
But I don't know, but there might be the type of, might be like fructose, and that might be sucrose. I don't. Lots of natural sugars in that. So the biggest eye opener for me, but I do eat quite a lot of the is how much additional sugars in that.
When you want to eat raisins, it's like, oh, it's slightly healthier.
Yeah, you look at it as a healthy option.
Yeah.
Probably the orange juice, I think. A lot of natural sugars, maybe.
Drinks have got loads of sugar in them.
I was going to say raisins because that's like the one nobody would say.
No. So it's a good thing I don't like raisins then. Wait, was I right? 5 sugar?
Yeah. 20 grams of sugar.
That's why my diet's not working. There's no sugar in Coke and stuff. Green tea's healthy for me.
Wow, just in my can?
Yeah.
You joking?
So if I have a can of that and a can of beans, I'm screwed.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
I would go with a lot.
But they're racking up, the grams are slowly racking up, aren't they? I'll walk away and I'll have a real good think about my beans.
So you keep eating sugar, you're going to die. See, that was the magic word. You said small bags.
Oh man.
Don't always trust the healthy packaging.
You must have hundreds. Like 800.
About 3,000?
Yeah.
2 kilos of sugar total.
I'd say 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. You're right. One of these bags of sugar is all over this table.
If it was an Asda or something in the supermarket and it had, say, that bottle, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll try that, I like that. But if I saw that sugar underneath it, it would make me think twice.
It's a killer. Right? Right? Diabetes. You're done.
So, as you can see, there's more to sugar than meets the eye, and it appears we don't know much about it.
Especially the potential negative effects and diseases like diabetes.
Well, we have someone here who is an expert in this, so please welcome to the show, Julian.
Thank you very much, my friend. He's my friend, Julian, for coming to see us. Tell us a little bit about how you know so much about sugar.
Well, I have to because my life depends on it, because I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I need to match the insulin I inject with the amount of sugar and carbohydrates I eat, so I need to know.
So, with that in mind, tell us how important or the effects of food packaging has on you making that choice.
Well, having been doing this now for well over 2 decades, you learn lots of things when you begin to read the packaging. So the first thing you learn is not to be conned by labels that say diabetic or sugar-free. A lot of those labels, those products are no better for you than the other products. Always look and see how much sugar, how much carbohydrate is actually in it. And the other thing is, when you see a label that's low in something, it does tend to be high in something else. So when the food industry take fat out of a yogurt and make a low-fat yogurt, they're actually making a high-sugar yogurt. So you need to be very, very careful and always read how much sugar is actually in the product.
So as a diabetic, how important, obviously, being, because I know you very good with food and stuff like this, you're a food person.
Yeah.
How does that affect taste and things like this?
Well, sugar, sweetness is one of the key 4 tastes that we have: sweet, salt, bitter, sugar, and a 5th taste, which is umami, which is flavour. So sugar puts flavour in, which is why the food industry is so keen on adding it.
Is that why you hear people talk about a sweet tooth and stuff like that? Is it people that see that more?
Yeah, some people have a sweet tooth and like overtly sweet things, but most of us respond very well. The pleasure centres in our brains light up when we eat sugar, which is why women like chocolate so much. So.
Yeah.
You like chocolate much, don't you?
Chocolate's my baby.
Did you find it difficult swapping things out and not eating as much sugar?
No, I found it difficult at first, but you kind of get used to it in the end, and you try and find things as a diabetic that are both low in sugar, but also slowly release sugar, so that you're trying to avoid the peaks and troughs that you get if you're eating refined sugar. At the end of the day, refined sugar is the thing that we all need to avoid.
So you talk about peaks and troughs, so you eat too much sugar, you get the sugar rush, is that what you could?
Yeah, and it's during those, as a diabetic, it's during those periods when my blood sugar is very high or very low that I can do the damage to my body in the long term. So I've got to try and keep things as much on an even keel as possible.
Okay, listen, Julian, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate it as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Price.
Now it's time for this week's Generation Wars. Doreen here has actively cut down her sugar consumption over the past year, but can her grandson Lewis do the same? Let's take a look.
On today's show, we are joined by a very special lady. Now, not only has she cut down on her sugar allowance to the 25 grams per day, but she's also my grandma. Welcome to the show, Grandma. Thanks for joining us today.
Very welcome, Emma darling.
Now, Grandma, obviously I know a lot about you, but the viewers out there don't, so would you mind telling them a bit about yourself?
Yes, Emma darling. I'm your grandma, of course, and my name is Doreen. I'm 70 years old, and I'm on the show to talk about the reduction of sugar in my diet.
There is actually a story to why you've given up sugar, or you've decreased it so much in your diet. Would you mind sharing that with us?
I went to the doctors to get my blood test results, and I was told I was borderline diabetes number 2.
And do you think that you had a lot of sugar before you went? Did you?
Yes, I think I probably did. I never used to look at the packaging until then, but now it's really opened my eyes.
There is another reason that you're on the show today, isn't there, Grandma? We're very worried about a certain person in the family.
Yes, that's my grandson.
Yeah, and he's also my cousin.
Yes.
And we both know that he does consume a lot of sugar every day, doesn't he?
Yes.
So you don't want him to go down the same path?
No, of course not. But someone so young, they don't bother about what they eat or drink. They don't look at labels. I'm afraid that he may end up going down the same path as me and ending up with diabetes type 2 at such a young age. I wouldn't like that to happen.
So now we're going to have a little chat with Lewis. We know more than anyone, don't we, Gran, that you eat so much sugar. Have you actually thought about how much sugar that you eat each day?
I never really thought about it. Not at all, really. I just eat what I like to eat when I want to eat it. But since Gran found out about being like close to being diabetic, that bit, well, I've sort of thought about it a little bit, and I do eat my fair amount of sugar.
Now, you've agreed to a sugar challenge, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you'd like to tell us a bit about that.
Well, I'm just trying to get it down to the same amount as what my gran eats. I think it's something like 25 grams. Is that a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a day, innit?
Yeah.
But it's not a week.
It's close.
Yeah, so I'm just going to try and see if I can match what she does. If that would be something you'd like,
Brilliant,
I imagine, yeah?
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, it's more,
Would be fun.
yeah, I'd say it's more for my gran than it is for me. I'll probably still eat a few chocolate bars out here and there, but...
Oh, you need your treats.
Yeah, need your treats, but...
Of course you do.
Yeah.
We've actually prepared a little surprise for you in the kitchen. Right, let's go. Let's have a
Let's
look.
go there. Are you coming, Grant?
Okay, yeah.
Speaking of food swaps, we have our nutritionist Kit Parker here to help us investigate the sweet minefield that is the battle between the good and the bad sugars. Let's give a warm welcome to Kit, everybody. So Kit, let's have a quick swap to get our viewers in the mood.
Okay, so we've got two different types of bread here. On the right we have Tiger bread, which has got 4.6 grams of sugar per slice. But then over here we've got the low GI bread, which is 0.6 grams of sugar per slice.
Okay, because I'm really scientific like you, you're going to have to tell me what GI means.
Okay, GI stands for glycemic index, so it's how fast the food releases its sugar into your bloodstream. Okay, so a high GI food will release it fast, giving you a sugar peak. Low GI will be slower, keep you sustained for longer.
So that's what Julian was talking about before,
Yeah.
the peaks and the troughs and stuff like that on the sugar stuff. That's interesting stuff.
Yeah, so what have you got to give tips-wise for Colin? I mean, I know you've seen his diet. Come on, give him some
Okay,
tips.
so looking at the kind of food diary we did, the guideline amount should be 30 grams of sugar a day.
Why are you looking at me like I've done something wrong, Kit, you know?
Well, the guideline amount is 30 grams a day, and you've actually been consuming 5 times that.
Right, well, we're going to have to see that.
Okay,
so show us what I should, show us what I should be doing. Yeah.
So the guideline amount, which would be the first one.
That looks a lot, really, doesn't it?
What do you mean a lot?
We should put that in here.
I imagine, I guess, for the rest, for the full day.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
this
how much
is-
you were consuming?
So this is what I'm consuming.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You do, no, what?
There we are.
He's being generous there. So that's a builder's brew. Right, that's what goes in a builder's brew. That's bad, isn't it?
That is.
Okay, so we get a lot of this
really bad.
pizza, chips, toast, things like that.
Right, I'm seeing over here some food
Yeah.
that I don't really want to be seeing. Can you just tell us a little bit about what I've got here?
Okay, so we've got a chicken, ham and leek sort of stew. Okay, it's very low sugar. We're looking at kind of very low carb as well. Do you want to give it a go?
Am I going to give this a go now?
There's 2 forks there, but I'm going to let you...
There is 2 forks here, Lucy. Well spotted. Yeah, there you go.
I'll hold this for you.
Well, I don't-
It's a spare.
So I've got a spare fork. Right. So yeah. Oh yeah.
See what I mean?
I'm going to need some water for that. Yeah, actually, it's quite nice. Actually, I'm only lying to you. Actually, it is quite nice. And if it's Kit, thank you. And if you want to find out about this recipe, it is on our website.
Making your own food is a great way of understanding how much sugar is going into it. But when you're buying food on the high street, brands have a sweet way of misleading us. Our corporate candy expert went out to find these hidden tricks.
Hello everyone, I'm in Media City on a typically cold and windy Manchester day. I'm going to throw some words at you. Fructose, glucose, dextrose, lactose, evaporated cane juice, fruit juice concentrates, molasses and honey. What do these mean? Well, they're all substitutes for the word sugar. Sometimes companies will list their food as being sugar-free and have one of these words on the ingredients list, meaning the companies are lying to us. So what are they lying about? Let's go find out.
We often see food and drinks labelled with no added sugar, but this does not mean that it has a low sugar content. The food may contain ingredients that have a naturally high sugar content such as milk, which contains lactose. But this will not be shown as sugar on the label. Instead, it will just read milk. Another thing that the labels don't tell us is a child's guideline daily recommended amount. Some of us will look at the label and just assume that it won't be much different for a child to an adult, but in fact there is a huge difference. For example, an orange drink labelled at 22% of an adult's maximum sugar is actually 105% of a child's daily recommended amount.
Servings are another problem we have to tackle when trying to unravel the mysteries of sugar and business practices. When looking at packaging, there are a few things that can mislead the consumer. For example, companies will list how much sugar their product has per 100 millilitres, making it appear healthy, when closer inspection of the packaging will reveal that it is actually a 500 millilitre drink and therefore contains 5 times the amount of sugar. Not only do companies mislead us with milliliter servings, they're also at fault for using out-of-date labels for food. Companies have been using old RDA labelling regulations. A motion has been put into practice to stop companies from doing this, but we'll have to wait until the new year to see if companies will be truthful with the consumer. Jay Hankin for Health Digest This. Back to the studio.
So that's hopefully shown you what to look out for when you do your next shop. But has our studio audience learned enough to guess how much sugar is in this trolley that Jay brought back?
Thanks, Lucy. I'm here with
Keenan.
Keenan.
Ross.
I thought you were going to say Kel. I'm here with Keenan and Ross. Keenan, I want you to rummage around and pick out some random things from the trolley.
Do you have the orange
Just
soda
one,
right
just
here?
yeah, random, yeah,
soda.
random. More random than that.
This one?
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
nice and random. Good. You've got the random one. I think that random one there. And then just one more random one.
Maybe
The
somewhere
beans, that looks
under here.
random.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good
Okay,
one.
completely at random. No suggestion. Keenan, tell us how much sugar you think's in the curried beans.
In the beans.
Think
gonna
about the
go
curry.
For about 12 grams of sugar, I think.
12. Yourself?
I'm going to say about 10.
10.
Yeah.
What's that say?
This is a pomegranate
Just
green
wanna show-
tea. A pomegranate green tea.
And how much do you think's in there?
I think this one maybe a bit less, so 10 for this one.
10. And yourself?
I'd want to say less, but I feel like it's a trick, so I'm going to say the same and 10 again.
You trust nobody, do you?
No.
Right, hold up that. What have you got there?
Just some Nature Valley Bar honey and oats.
Okay,
Think
how
about
much
the
sugar do you
honey.
think's in there?
I know, well, I think it's quite a bit because obviously it's a slow release and it's an energy bar. And as well the honey, so 12.
12. Someone's been learning about the glycemic index score.
Yeah, I definitely think that's both. More than both of these. So
Both of these.
maybe about 14.
Let's take a look and see if these guys are right.
Waiting for them brighter days. 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 Waiting for them brighter days.
So, how many of you at home got that right? Tweet us using the hashtag HDTSugar and let us know.
Whilst I try and get this food back above Colin, I'll let you catch up with Lewis's challenge in our second instalment of Generation Wars.
Get off!
Get off!
Get off!
I wouldn't be able to tell either way which one was which at all with that one. They both taste the exact same. That one's better. Miles better. Exactly the same, like Coke again. No. That is gross. The spoon, it just digging into jam is the most unnatural thing in the world. That is disgusting. Absolutely horrible. Turn it off now.
I think Lewis has put me off there.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Oh no,
It
Lewis
looks
has put me
alright,
off. It looks a bit
No,
worried,
no,
doesn't
it's
it?
all right.
Aye.
What?
No, right, so Lewis's grandparents are here with us. Doreen and Alec, everybody, please, round of applause.
So, Dorian and Alec, what did you think to the jam?
Oh, it's once you get used to it, it's fine. It does taste very different from the ordinary jam. The texture is slightly different, but you do get used to it.
I think once it's on your toast, I think once it's on your toast, it's all right. I mean, it tasted all right to me, so.
Yeah, but Lewis didn't seem to think that though, did he? That's why it put me off. It looks a bit watery, but like you said,
It's just a matter of taste, really. You know.
Is it depending on the person? Do you like it,
Yes,
Alec?
I
Or?
think
Yeah, it's great. I don't normally eat jam.
Oh, so
It's marmalade I eat.
Oh,
Marmalade.
okay.
And Is that high in sugar?
Yes.
It
Yes.
is really, but I have it on toast.
So you only have little
Okay,
bits
right,
to
listen.
put it down.
We will come back to you guys a little bit later on in the show.
Now, sugar can damage your body in many different ways. Some you may know about and some you may not. So we uploaded Lizzie into our virtual reality lab to tell us more about the dangers of sugar.
As a nation, we are consuming too much sugar. This is dramatically affecting our health. Right now, people are suffering from illnesses and conditions that could have easily been prevented. Here's how excess sugar is damaging our bodies. First, tooth decay. Tooth decay is caused by plaque, a thin film containing bacteria that coats the teeth. After you eat or drink, plaque bacteria digest the sugar in the foods and produce acids that weaken the tooth enamel. Currently in the UK, a third of 5-year-olds have on average 3 teeth affected with tooth decay. The removal of children's teeth costs the NHS £30 million a year. This can largely be prevented simply by brushing teeth twice a day and reducing sugar consumption. Moving on to type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is a condition in which your body cannot properly process sugar. According to the International Diabetes Federation, more than 371 million people across the globe have diabetes, and this figure is predicted to rise to over 550 million by 2030. 90% of these cases are type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can be managed with lifestyle changes such as exercise and limiting of sugar intake to begin with. Another alarming condition linked to high sugar intake is heart disease. A study in 2014 found that people who got more than a quarter of their calories from added sugar were almost 3 times more likely to die of heart disease. Now, most people connect liver problems with alcohol. However, an unhealthy, sugar-filled diet can lead to too much fat building up around the liver. This is known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It is currently believed that 1 in 5 people in the UK are in early stages of the condition, and the vast majority of people are undiagnosed. It is responsible for 15 to 20% of liver transplants in the UK. But all of these very serious diseases can be prevented with very simple lifestyle changes. Cutting out the sugar you have in your tea, that last cookie in the jar, Friday night's takeaway, or just going out for a walk can be a big step in improving your health and well-being.
Do you know, I love it when we get our VR experts into our VR lab just to tell me how badly I'm treating my body on the inside. You know, like I need extra facts than looking at the mirror before breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, anyway, it does show us how cutting down on sugar can have a positive effect on our bodies.
Well, Lucy, let's put that to the test and find out if Lewis was able to put this positive effect into practice and cut down on his sugar in the final instalment of this week's Generation Wars.
So, day 1 without sugar hasn't affected me so far, I can say. This morning, instead of jam, I put a bit of butter on my toast, which was alright, didn't taste too bad. I've just had a damn salad butty for dinner, scrapped my usual chocolate bar. So far, so good, not really feeling it. Tonight is my first night playing football, training, with a lack of sugar in my system compared to usual. 4th day in. It is getting to me a bit now though. I am starting to crave quite a bit of that sugar, but hopefully I can get through this session and not feel too groggy afterwards. Just got in from footy and I feel absolutely shocking. My body is just craving some sort of sugar injection. I feel absolutely exhausted and I feel like I just need to have a Snickers or something. Like I won't be able to carry on without it. I'm actually getting quite emotional thinking about chocolate. This has definitely been the toughest day of the week. Here it is, come about already, day 7. And I've done it. I've done it, like, easy. Well, not easy, I've had a few down days, but yeah, done. 20 to 25 grams per day, sometimes even less. I can't say I'm not going to be partial to a chocolate bar here and there. I'd happily live the same way as I've done for this week, for the rest of my life. That'd be a bit extreme, but yeah, I don't see why not. I've enjoyed it. Feeling alright, feeling good, feeling fresh. Feeling fresh waking up as well, which is a shock. Don't need that morning cereal bar. But yeah, thank you very much.
So, Dorian and Alec, you must be pleased with him. He lasted the full week, didn't he?
Fantastic.
Yes, it was
Yep,
amazing.
Did very well. Didn't think he'd last that long.
Did you not?
No, so, Dorian, you're his grandmother. Okay, so the question to you is, grands are supposed to make lots of sugary treats, cookies and cakes and stuff. So do you
Yes.
think you helped him be addicted to sugar from a young age? Or?
Yes, probably. And also, I was baking cakes and I was eating them which I didn't realise at the time was very bad for me.
No.
Why didn't you realise at the time?
But there was no media like there is now. There was just nothing printed, nothing on the telly to tell you that sugar was dangerous in those days. You just ate everything and you didn't think about it.
So at what point, obviously on your journey, we'll talk about Lewis in a second, but on your journey to cut down on sugar, so at what point did you sort of say, I need to cut down on this sugar? What was the trigger for you?
Well, the trigger was when I went to the doctors to get my annual blood test results. The cholesterol was fine, the thyroid was fine, and then it came to when she gave me the news about might be borderline type 2 diabetes, and I was absolutely gobsmacked.
Shocking,
I couldn't believe it.
And this is obviously, why did it come as a shock? Because you dn't think.
Well, it came as a shock because I've never been obese, and they sometimes say people who are obese are more likely to get it, so I've never been obese. And previous to that, in the years previous, I was told that my cholesterol was very high, so I'd already cut down on cakes and biscuits and bad foods.
She was really upset
to start
when
with.
she came through the door.
So
really
I was a bit upset about it, yeah.
So, obviously, I'm not 19 years of age, I'm a little bit older, so if we could give some advice to our younger generation out there about things, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say just think twice before you have that extra teaspoon of sugar in
Cut
your
out
drink.
the sugar butties.
Now, we were chatting about these before, sugar butties.
A Bolton delicacy.
No. Well,
Years
I was
ago.
when you mentioned sugar butties earlier.
Yep.
I had to confess, and I'll confess.
No,
right
yeah,
now too,
they're all
that
coming
I
out
had-
they're all coming out the woodwork now.
Yes. I like treacle sandwiches, golden syrup
blimey.
sandwiches.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
did.
All right, welcome to
I
the
have
confessional
cut it down.
section of our show, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but what is a good food for you? Like, what are the little tips? What you could like tell us to eat? Because I'm sure you mentioned something to me earlier about a certain nut.
Ah, walnuts, yes. I've discovered that walnuts are an absolute superfood. They lower the risk of diabetes, actually, and they lower the risk of heart disease also. So they're worth having on your diet of each day, just a few, because they're very, very filling, actually. Just a few every day. If you're having a drink at night, watching the telly, just eat a few walnuts.
Instead of grazing on a packet of crisps, you might as well graze
Oh,
on
absolutely, yes.
Locate your local butcher and go and get fresh food.
Well, this is the thing as well. Like, so
Not
when
the
you were younger,
supermarket stuff.
obviously butchers were a big thing everywhere.
They Oh, were, yes.
Grocers were everywhere. So
Yes.
Do you think that has an effect on how we consume our food today?
Of course,
I think
because
so,
you have
yeah.
all these packets in the supermarkets now,
Yeah.
and the butchers are disappearing from the high street. We travel to Bolton from where we live in Tilsley to get our meals, which are made daily, and we freeze, and we get about 6 to 8 weeks supply, and he makes some fantastic meals, fresh meals.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in today. We really, really appreciate it, and I know how busy you are. I think we've learned something. You've taught us a lot. I think hopefully you've taught our studio audience. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, please, for Dorian and Ali.
And if you guys at home are convinced to reduce your sugar, please be sure to tweet us at Health Digest TV and check out our website for some more great tips.
Now, as I said before, sadly, we have reached the end of the show. But don't despair, we'll be back next week with a packed show all about protein. So, any of you gym nuts out there, I'm looking at the audience, there's a lot of them, it's going to be a good one, so don't miss it.
Thanks to our great guests, our lovely studio audience, and you guys at home for tuning in. I've been Lucy Machin.
And I've been Colin McKevitt, and we will see you next week for more
Health
Digest This.
Woo!